Joins us in studio now for the story you will only see on KRDO.
Yeah, with hundreds of hours in training and combat in a jet fighter, these men are more than well prepared to fly these precise maneuvers in their F-16. But what really struck me about each one I had the chance to speak with was how humble they are and how honored each one is to wear the Thunderbirds patch.
Flying high in their F-16s, these pilots are well trained with a minimum requirement of 750 flight hours in a jet fighter. The 6 demonstration pilots make these diamonds, rolls, and loops look graceful. Behind the number 2 jet, left wing Major Ryan Bodenheimer. He's from Colorado Springs and went to Pine Creek High School, and he's also a UCCS grad.
There's videos of me as a young guy, about 3 or 4 years old, flying a little Thunderbird around.
Bodenheimer now in his 2nd year with the Thunderbird squadron.
The Thunderbird sparked something in my heart from a young age, and it wasn't necessarily to Air Force. It was more ask better questions and learn how people do amazing things.
In the slot, you'll find Major Nick Krychek flying the number 4 jet.
I can see everybody, so I've got the best seat in the house.
Krychek started his military career in the Army and flew Black Hawk helicopters as a medevac pilot, then joined the Air Force in 2004.
So I joined the Air Force because I wanted to be a part of this amazing team that gets to help, defend our way of life, defend our freedoms every day.
Flying the most upside-down maneuvers in the Thunderbirds' hour-long show and carrying the upside-down number 5 on his uniform and his jet.
I usually look down and tell him it looks right to me until that joke runs out.
Lead solo, Major Alex Turner.
There's a picture of me, 5, 6 years old, up against the snow fence, with the Thunderbirds in the back over my shoulder.
The upside-down 5, a 30-year-old tradition.
As just a joke, the crew chiefs flipped the 5 over when they put the sticker on there, and the pilot came out, laughed, and kind of chuckled, and we're leaving it. And forevermore, this is how we're rolling.
The jokes don't stop on this team, and the demands keep them working hard.
Into the float. It's very physically demanding to fly these F-16s.
Each flight requires total concentration.
We're human, so there's times when our focus starts to slip, and what we do at that point is we try to regain it.
For Bodenheimer, concentration comes from a bit of pressure.
It's definitely training. I think it's also having the ability to want to present the crowd that's watching with the absolute best experience possible.
For Krychek, flying 3 feet away from 3 other F-16s helps him focus.
That position in itself lends me to have to keep my concentration and keep me on my toes.
And these pilots endure all of that in order to fly these F-16s. The Thunderbirds have flown this particular aircraft since 1982, which is the longest duration that the Thunderbirds have flown a single aircraft.
There's nothing that compares to the freedom of flying the aircraft, with how maneuverable it is, the view, the unobstructed view that the cockpit and the way it was designed.
The F-16 isn't a young jet. In fact, it's 4 decades old. While they don't carry missiles, they've added a device to make the smoke that you see in the shows. What really separates the Thunderbirds F-16s from standard F-16s? Their iconic paint job.
When you look outside, flying over the Grand Canyon, and you look out and you see red, white, and blue on your wings, you just know what you represent.
Spending more than half the year on the road and away from their families, these pilots know the true meaning of dedication and hard work.
I hope what they remember is that what the jets represent is that we should all try to become the best versions of ourselves.
Absolute honor to get to represent nearly 660,000 airmen across the total force. And so to be the Air Force's premier flying demonstration, to get to do that is just an absolute dream come true for me.
Taking the honor, the weight of the patch, and the precision of the Air Force into the skies and on to the next level.
What an incredible assignment, Colleen. What was it like to meet the pilots there?
I was really personally intrigued of how real they were. Especially like Major Ryan Bodenheimer said, that they're real people, and so sometimes they lose concentration. And so, each pilot has their own way of getting back into the game, get their head back into the game, so to speak. And part of that is training, and the other part is, practice. And so we kind of want to show you guys a little bit of what we're working on tomorrow.
It's dozens of training flights plus constant practice to make the Thunderbird shows perfect.
So we typically fly 5 to 6 flights a week.
Tuesday, we're taking you behind the scenes and showing you how their jaw-dropping shows become reality.
My daughter just watched the Thunderbird crash.
And on Wednesday, we'll talk for the first time with the pilot that crashed following the flyover at the Air Force Academy graduation last year.
There's a couple seconds there of disbelief, of is this happening right now?
He'll tell us how he ejected and crash landed his F-16 on 2nd, 2016. We continue the series Tuesday night at 10. Colleen Sikora, KRDO News Channel 13.
Hey, if you want to see the Thunderbirds before their performance at the Air Force Academy graduation, you'll have one more chance. The team will practice its full routine tomorrow. You'll see the team right over the Falcon Stadium from around 11 a.m. till around noon. But you're reminded not to stop along I-25 to watch or take video.